Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Omega Files. We're going to sit here tonight. We're just going to have a short chat about the latest offering from Guardians of the Galaxy, Vol.2. As people know, they're going to be joining in Infinity War, amongst other things. And we're going to have a little talk about the movie itself and maybe, a little bit about what we do know about Infinity War, which ain't much. Okay, so when I call out your name, go ahead and start in your opening thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. We're going to start at the top, start with AJ. Go ahead.
Oh, hello. I think this movie was absolutely brilliant. I sat there and I watched it in the theaters with my wife, and I laughed, I cried, and it was just an amazing journey. They topped themselves after the first movie, which was good to see. Usually sequels are either downhill or equal to the previous movie. So this one had a lot of good in it. So I'll elaborate more later on. So, yeah.
Okay, let's move on down to William.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? Oh, yeah, like AJ said, this was a great sequel. Unlike the original that's mostly an introduction to all the characters, this one story dealt with the issue of family, like within the Guardians themselves, and then outside, like Peter Quill's real father, Yondu, who raised him, Rocket, who was acting like Peter, and of course Groot, who's still a little child. And of course the Nebula and Gamora. So that really stood out right there. This is a great movie. Of course we're gonna get into like the sad, like AJ said, how sad it was in one point, and you got to give up that you could say that the '80s music was used very well here. Great different selection of artists and all that. And I gotta give a prop to Kurt Russell. He played this role very well. Says I'm one of the like everybody grew up watching Kurt Russell in different movies like that. So this role really stood out for me, and I gotta give him a great thumbs up. We get into the other actors and stuff like that in a little while.
All righty, let's move on over to Graham.
Hey guys, how we doing? Yeah, as well alluded to, man, great sequel, great undercurrent, undertone of the family unity within the Guardians team, as well as their own individual characters and the family issues that they've got to resolve. Boy, was this a CGI fest. There was at times I thought it was back in the 60s going to Woodstock, but that's good. It added to the atmosphere and the visual effects of the movie. It didn't hinder it in any way. Great. The actors back in their regular roles were phenomenal. As the favourite parts, we'll get to that later, but as far as sequels go, top notch and not a disappointment. I won't meet you, Spider-Man 3.
And of course, Beefhead.
Hello, Beef of Earth C-137 here. Yes, I do, to a certain degree, agree with the guys. It's a fun and enjoyable movie, but I don't think it's as good as the first one. There's a lot of stuff. It's the people who you've grown to love and doing what you enjoyed them doing in the previous movie, but there was a lot of sort of sitting down talking about family and stuff like that. I get that it's a point and everything like that. I think this movie really does belong to Batista and Roika. It's more about those two than anyone else because they've got the best character arc. For me, what was missing from this film was having something moving along. What was really good about the first one was it was to do with the stone, the Infinity Gem, and it kept it moving along. They stole something, there were people chasing them, then they had to do something to try and stop that getting there. There was a MacGuffin involved with it. This was, it was fun. It went along and everything like that, but it's always the difficult second movie, which Marvel has always struggled with. If you look at Iron Man 2, Thor 2, Avengers 2, nowhere near as great as the first one, in my opinion, to be honest with you. The only one that perhaps is slightly different is Captain America 2. That was probably the strongest of the sequel that Marvel have done. It's fun, but I would say not as well-rounded and well-constructed as the original.
Darn, I clicked on the wrong thing. Okay, so let's open those mics up. Yeah, a lot of interesting cameos in this movie. You know, we had Sylvester Stallone playing the lead of the, you know, one of the Ravager factions, who apparently, you know, exiled Yondu for, you know, what he did, you know, being involved with Quill and those other children and taking the ego. I guess it was against the Ravager code. The Ravagers don't deal with kids, or deal in kids. And I thought that was an interesting bit, you know, putting him into this movie. You know, he actually did quite well, I think. You know, not well. Then again, is there a typical Stallone, or is it just Stallone? But you know, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it was good.
For the short screen time he had, he was fine. You know, we did the Ravengers. Dare we dare hark back to that god-awful Dread movie? No, let's no. But no, he was fine for what he done here. You know, it wasn't awful. It was just Sly Stallone.
It was good. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Beef. Go ahead.
Well, I just thought it was good because it would have someone who you could put up against someone like Michael Rooker, who's got a very strong personality,
Yeah.
and you've got that a very good interplay between the two. And if anything, it gives more depth to Yondu's situation as well. That you get that he's sort of. Yeah, he always hasn't been whiter than white, and to a certain degree, this is also a redemption story for him. So, from that point of view, it's very good, and it balances well to have that sort of counterbalance to him from the Ravagers.
But you got to remember that the Ravagers, all these characters, in the Marvel comics, they're the original Guardians of the Galaxy in the comics, which the team exists in the 30th century. So that's all. So that's a good shout out to those characters from the comics, even though they brought them in as the Ravagers. Not like whether I'm hearing that they might show up again in the next Guardians movie, so that's a pretty good thing to see them again. Now, whether it would develop to maybe a one spin-off movie, we don't know. It'd be interesting to see a movie like that, but it has to be something that, remember, it has to be part of the Marvel universe that people want to see that. So that has to be brought out.
Yep, Sakar Autogood. That was his name. Okay.
Yeah. Just to pick Beef up on his point regarding Michael Rooker and Dave Bautista, they were the heart and soul of this movie. I could kind of see how Drax's characterization in this movie might, irk a few people with the whole practical joke, always laughing, talking about genitals and turds and all the rest of it. But I enjoyed the hell out of that, man. I thought that, in the first movie, he's a bit more, cynical and distant until he gets to know the group. And here, obviously, it came full circle. And he's just a big, ass-kicking, comedic muscle guy. And you're like, and he's not what's a good term? I mean, I don't want to offend people. He's not exactly the brightest bulb in the drawer, but he still gets the job done, which I found admirable and funny as hell.
I love that scene at the beginning of the movie where he jumps into the creature's mouth and he's sitting there inside stabbing it. Ah!
I did it! I killed it all!
Yeah, she's standing there covered in puke, Yeah,
the size of his turds are legendary. His lower regions become engorged. Every time he's on the screen, I've got to say, he'll have you in stitches.
Yeah.
He really should get more kudos for that because, the writing for it is great as well.
Yeah.
But he does. He breaks up what is, because the thing is as well. You think about it. This is probably a trilogy at the very least.
Yeah.
The second one is always the darker of the two. And for what happens to Yondu and everything like that, you get that sort of feeling at the end of it that there is a sort of darkness to it, and it's good to have that sort of break up to it. And he does it so amazingly deadpan.
A straight face, and moving at the shoulders like a lot of people get when they're trying to suppress laughter. Even that scene where Mantis is trying to, recheck the emotions, and she's like to Star Lord, and she revealed the feelings towards Gamora, and he's like, just pure bricks it into a fit.
I love the bit where he's recounting the story about his wife. As no matter how lively the music would be, she wouldn't move. She wouldn't even tap her feet. You could have mistaken her for dead. You're beautiful inside, but outside you're repulsive and repugnant. Yeah.
My father told us the story of how he impregnated my mother every winter solstice.
Yeah.
Major kudos to Dave Bautista in this movie, man. I'll tell you.
If anyone can turn around and said, "Did you grow a penis?" And yeah. If he can get away with that in what is like a kids movie, full salute to you, Mr. Bautista. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
But what about Kurt Russell's response? It's pretty marvelous.
Oh yeah, there you go.
What's also incredible, if you watch the background one, he says, and it's not half bad. Look at the look on Gamora's face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, he did a really good job in this film, Kurt Russell. Playing the planet. And a lot of people were like, "Oh my God, you Kurt Russell? Are you kidding me? How's he going to play Ego?" And he really knocked it out of the park, as far as I'm concerned, because he had you convinced he's this, I'm this loving father who's lost my son, but in reality, nope, I just need him so I can wipe out everybody else in the universe and make them all like me.
Yep.
Ugh.
But the only wee thing, the wee clip I had was when the two of them were trying to do the whole celestial thing, and you had the mad white light engulfing everything. Was anybody else getting the vibe of the quickening, or was it just me?
A little, yeah.
Yeah.
In one of the scenes when you see Michael Rook getting to the planet with Raccoon, you see Eagle's face on the planet.
Yeah.
You see the two. That's the way he looks in the comics, like that. You rarely see him as a looking humanoid, so that was pretty cool that they did that shot out right there.
As I mentioned earlier, this movie is a hell of a CGI fest, and what complimented that the most was obviously when they're trying to navigate the ship through the asteroid field, and they're fighting all the sorority ships, and they're actually still sitting in the base playing it like an arcade game. I thought that was pretty good.
The noises are pure out of a 1980s arcade, especially where you die and everything like that is completely out of that. But yeah, Russell is an inspired choice. Like G says, that the CGI is really good where they de-age him, because this is a guy who we've seen through the years in various films and everything like that.
The only part that was a bit iffy for me, and I think it was on purpose, just for shits and giggles, was obviously the bit at the very beginning when he's supposed to be back in the 80s, courting his mother. You can tell it's a wig. The wrinkles are still there. You're going, oh, they've done that for shits and giggles. You can say, oh, look, it's Kurt Russell, but here's what we do with him later on in the movie.
That's pretty cool that they did that. Yeah. Well, I was shocked that Eagle gave Star-Lord's mom the cancer. I'm like, what? I was shocked.
Actually, I wouldn't have been, because he wanted the child to be taken away so he could use them. So obviously he would have to precipitate that reason for them to leave Earth.
Well, he said he had visited her 2 times before, and on the 3rd time he didn't feel he would be able to leave. He was that sort of besotted with her. But then again, he's sort of like, he had been, shagging his way around the galaxy, so to speak.
Indeed,
You saw a whole cave full of skulls of their sort of rejected kids and everything like that. And that's a pretty dark visual to have. And if you think about it, because it skims over it very quickly, but there's like literally a wall of skulls of his.
Jeez,
meet the point. So Ego is pretty much a bastard.
Sort yourself out, Disney. Michael Eisner is no longer ethnically cleansing the It's a Small World ride. My God.
But also, that sort of reminded me of the story of, I think it's Blackbeard or Bluebeard, who told his wife, "Don't go into this room. If you go into this room, things aren't going to be good for you." You know, the thing with the skulls and all that. That's I got that image.
Good point.
From that movie.
Yeah, but remember, it was Gamora and Nebula that found all those skulls and all that.
I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people have skeletons in their closet. He's got a whole frickin' cavern of them. Like, damn. He was getting busy across the galaxy, man.
Yeah. Planting more seeds in the farmer.
I gotta give a shout. I gotta give props to Karen Gillan because I liked her role as Nebula than in the first movie, because we get to find out how the things happened to her, like with her arm and all that. That it was Thanos punishing her for not being able to be her sister. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, she did a lot more in this movie than just yell, like in the last one. That's basically all she did was like yell all the damn time. And this one, you get a little more character development, a little more background.
I like the small, dry comedic part that she had in the movie where she kept asking for the fruit, and they're like, no, it's not ripe yet. And then she grabs it and takes a bite. She's like, not ripe yet.
Yeah. And yeah, I quite like the subplot with her and Gamora. You got more character development for both of them in terms of their backstory, and it sets up obviously for Infinity Wars and Volume 3. She, for all intents and purposes, now is a rogue agent of the Guardians on her own, and she'll probably pop in as and when required later on. So why not?
That's pretty good for her. Because we already know by watching the San Diego Comic-Con that she's in the Infinity War movie and in the third Guardian.
Well,
so
everybody's in that movie apparently. I mean,
Well, and she's in the third one, so that means she's gonna have already 2 paychecks. What you been doing lately, Matt Smith?
Oh, leave the channel on. Jesus.
I certainly think that what they did do really well in this movie was that they sort of deep, fleshed out the peripheral characters, like you said, Joe. I mean, Karen Gillan's character was there was a bit more depth to it because you didn't get that much of her in the first movie. Also, Sean Gunn, who's like the sort of second in command to Yondu as well. You get a lot more with him. You get the sort of emotion about how he was sort of like, I didn't mean to do a mutiny. And he felt bad because he saw all the rest of the crew just like thrown out through the airlock and everything like that. So many of his friends died, but he would always stand up for his captain, regardless of the situation, and was so bereft when he died at the end. But I love how his character got a lot more. There wasn't, because I think there was such a strong bond that you got from the first movie with your main core characters. They didn't need to do much with them because you were accepting of them because you had already formed that relationship. So you just enjoy seeing what they were doing. Yeah, they had the family issue, because the big difference I think between the first one and this one was the first one they all had that it was all trauma. They were all trying to get past or get beyond something. Peter was trying to get past the death of his mother.
Yep.
Rocket was the only one of his kind. Obviously, the situation with Gamora, that she was trying to break free of her father and everything like that. So they were all broken in some way and trying to get past that. And and Drax was trying to get past the sort of death of his family and his wife. They were all broken in some fashion, and they formed a unit and they got past that. So this was sort of, there wasn't a need to do that much with them because you've already formed an emotional bond with them.
Just what you mentioned, secondary characters. Mantis, all right, she was ditzy as shit, but
you can't really blame her. Remember, she was with Eagle for many years, and she had no interaction.
It's not a criticism. She was ditzy as shit, but she did play a prominent role in the movie. So fair play there. All right, the antennas look kind of.
I just remember all the hubbub because her creator didn't like the way she was written in the movie. Apparently.
Oh really? Well, there you go.
Well, remember in the comics she was a Vietnam girl like that became the Celestial Madonna, but that's a different story from the 70s. But this one, it's not bad because she still has empathic. She still has the antennas. Is that like the movie said? She never had any. She was only with Eagle. She never met nobody else. So she don't know how the way some people speak in jokes or like a little slang like that. She don't know nothing about that. So she's learning. She's learning about it.
She was like a severely dumbed down version of Chandel for Utopia for me, man. Just saying. But no, she wasn't bad. I can't let this podcast go without mentioning Bradley Cooper as Rocket and the ongoing gag with Taserface.
I love that.
Taserface. I was rolling at that, man.
Even the girl who was laughing was said, "Don't forget to tell your boys Taserface." You're like, "Hey," start laughing her head off. That was
That
funny.
was a terrible name.
Yeah, let me see. Trash Panda, Triangle Faced Puppy.
Oh man.
What about that? Like, oh, sorry.
No. I was gonna say, I hope after this movie that James Gunn or anybody would stop trying for Star-Lord and Gamora to have a relationship. Forget about that. That's you take that out, you will still have plenty of stories of them as the Guardians facing all the different adversaries they're gonna face. So take that point out, man. You don't need it no more. It's getting boring.
It's just your bog standard thing. You've got to have that in there so people can sit there and rub themselves to death. I mean, but hey ho, it's just a side plot for me anyway. It's no central to the movie. It's annoying, but it's no, slap bang in your face.
Also love the scene where they played on the fan theory that Stan Lee was a watcher.
Oh, there you go.
Well, that would make sense. Why he appears in every movie. So
That was
Stan Lee was a watcher.
Yeah, that cute little scene where he's sitting there telling the Watchers all these different stories, and basically it's about his different cameos in the movies.
yeah, that would explain why he always shows up. So that'd be cool.
Yeah, and then I was a FedEx delivery man. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I was like Vin Diesel only has to say 3 words in this again, but he's I don't know how many times he had to record that, but Baby Groot was cool in this movie.
Well, everybody loves, of course, the beginning when he's dancing his head off like that.
Oh yeah.
So that's always going to stand out.
Out of the way. Yeah,
Which ironically is James Gunn, the director. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But sorry, Adrian, you go.
I was gonna say the part that I really enjoyed was Groot's little comedic scene where he's trying to get the fin, but he's like coming back.
You just stole my thunder, you son of a bitch.
Sorry, I had it written down. Like when he comes back with a toe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whose toe was that?
Oh man.
Do you keep a box of toes somewhere? No, I don't want to know.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That's my underwear.
Yeah. That's what I was going to bring up, so scrap that. Thanks, AJ.
That's
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was going to say it before.
Well, now Groot's a teenager, so that's going to have more problem with that.
Yeah, puberty. That'll be fun.
2 words I never thought I'd associate with a Marvel movie: David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
Hey, the Moth Watson mysterious. Did I say the Moth? Sorry, force of habit. Yeah. The Hoff Watson mysterious ways.
Well, he had that little cameo where Ego changed to look like him because of course, from the 80s TV show that Star-Lord's mom used to watch. And, of course, the end credit, we hear that music video. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, you can't have any 80s reference movie without having a link to the Hoff in some way. He played such a huge part of it. You really can't.
And I must admit, Noble Sacrifice at the end by Michael Rooker's Yandu, and I quite enjoyed the Ravager funeral at the end, even if he did have... Who was singing that? Was that Bob Dylan?
No, that was Cat Stevens.
Oh, Yosef. Okay, yeah, whatever he's called now.
Yeah, no.
Cat Stevens. Yeah.
I was going to mention that's the scene that made me cry because my dad always would play that song. And he would say, listen to the song because it's important. The words are very important. And I never really... Sorry?
I was just, sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say that song is a good song, but one of the Irish boy bands spoiled it for me. They can go themselves.
But I agree that it is an important song about fathers and sons and life and change and so on. Sorry. So,
well, it's like Yondu says. He may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy.
That's right.
And that's the great thing about him. You can tell that there's such a really beautiful story of him throughout this, that you get this idea that he's got a great scene with everyone in this movie. There's the stuff with Groot where he's like trying to get the fin. You've got the scene with Rocket. You've got the scene with Peter at the end. He's got a great scene with everyone in this movie. So this is a brilliant bowing out sort of story for him as well, because he goes from sort of being sort of disavowed, disliked, and you just have this massive redemption for him, and this amazing affection that you realise that he was there all along. In the same way as that, if you put it in the idea of like how people view like Snape, if you've ever watched all the Harry Potter movies, that you go back and look at how he was in the past, and everything like that. It is crazy and insane, but it is gorgeous. I think Mary Poppins comment. It does
exactly. Yeah, that is the quote of the movie for me. Mary Poppins, is he cool? Yeah, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. Superb, man.
I laughed so much when he said that. Like, yo, I was waiting for him. Like, I didn't know he was gonna die. So I said, if he finds out that Mary Poppins is a chick, he's gonna bust.
He is my only concern, and Beef said it. Great redemption story, great way to bow out. This is Marvel. You're dealing with infinity gemstones. They wouldn't dare resurrect him later on, would they?
I'd love it if they did, because do you know what? I think he's fantastic. He really is.
I wouldn't mind seeing him back, but you know what the internet's like, you know.
One of the brilliant, what I must say is one of the brilliant scenes in this that I think is easy to forget, because you are sort of like there's a lot of bangs and flashes and a lot going on. Is the bit that when he gets the fin that is more accurate to the comic book and everything like that. And when he goes through the ship and he literally takes apart everyone on that ship, and you've got them flying down left, right, and centre. That is pure class. It really is. It's a brilliantly shot. And on IMAX, I can only presume that must be amazing. But it looks great, and that was for me one of the sort of best effects of the movie.
Well, all I've got to say is a wee small mention to Aisha, the leader of the Sovereign, who got her batteries nicked and didn't get her away by the end of the movie.
Well, it was just funny when she appeared in the comics. It was called her, and it was funny. She's creating him, who is Adam Warlock, who that's going to be the villain in the next movie. They've already been announced that. So seeing him.
Was that no who was introduced at the end credit scene?
Yeah,
Adam?
you see him in the cocoon. Yeah, Adam Warlock.
Yeah. And that's going to be a huge baddie. Yeah.
Well, there you go. We're in the Garden of Eden, folks.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I would say. I know we've harped on, said about the music as well. Did anyone feel that the music was good? There were points of it, but the music wasn't necessarily as sort of like as good as the first one, or do you?
I
feel
agree with that.
Better?
I agree with that. Yeah.
Nah, I think that's the first one had better, because once Peter put the headset on, you heard the song in the cave. That stood out. But in the second one, there's maybe like 3 or 4 songs that stood out. Like the Cat Steven one, and maybe probably 2 or 3. I kind of think about it.
Because they used obviously Fleetwood Mac the Chain a couple of times within it.
Yeah, George Harrison.
My Sweet Lord, and then you had Mr. Blue Sky, and then Father and Son at the end of it. And then and what's the other one? Is it what's it called? Is it Brandy or something like that? The song at the start of it as well.
Yeah.
I don't think there's necessarily because I don't know. I prefer the music on the first one, but maybe that's just personal choice, I suppose.
And then the song when Peter was dancing with Gomorrah. Yeah, I forgot his name. He's a great singer too.
But I like the fact that he got his Walkman crushed after he gone, and then he got it replaced by essentially an intergalactic frickin' iPod.
Zune.
Oh no! It was a real thing that Microsoft made in the.
A Zune. Oh yeah, I forgot.
It was another dead piece of technology.
Yeah, I was about to say. Those things were they things were in and out the market so quick. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah,
you know.
I must confess, I laughed when I got that. It can hold 300 songs. 300 songs! Oh my God!
Wow! Yeah. Yeah, there's another kick in nuts to Bill Gates. Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't pull that.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, when you compare it today, when you stick like a couple thousand songs on your iPhone, it's like, or your Samsung, whatever you have, 300. Wow.
Completely forgot about the tune. I think it was 2006. It was like 3 months. I was lucky. Like, what the hell?
But it is making me look forward now even more to Infinity War. Which some folks got a taste of.
Yeah, of course it was leaked on YouTube too for a little bit. That we see them flying their ship, and Thor crashes into them, and Rocket said, "Use the wipers and wipe him away, get him out of there." And then,
I'm assuming that's after the events of Ragnarok.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
but
Well,
we don't know.
shall we
We don't know
Yeah.
how he's gonna be that. We don't know who puts him on space because
Well, I'll obviously have something to do with the end credit scene, the Ragnarok. I'm
yeah.
assuming,
So yeah, the only one I can think of is probably Thanos showing up,
Hmm.
looking for that final gemstone.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna stick out right there.
Yep.
Okay, anything else?
Trying to remember something. I don't think even though the mind exploded from Eagle, I don't really think he's dead because in the comics he has come back a couple of times, being his brain exploding. It just took him quite a while to reform that mass to become the brain again. So I don't really think he's dead.
And I
Okay.
just want to know what's going to happen with all that gloop that showed up on all the other planets, because you saw it crashing through, I suppose, parts of Earth, and was it one of it on Nova and everything like that?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's where he's spread his seed throughout the galaxy, let alone with the ladies. Yeah,
There you go.
there's a big lot of residue left over after his attempted takeover of the universe. That's clean up on R2.
I will say I thought Rocket's characterization was a wee bit interesting in this one because aside from the normal jokes which we're used to, he was really kind of distant and being a complete jackass for a lot of the movie as well. But then again, you find out it's just the fact that he's got a mirror image of
yeah, that's it. I think it's a case of where you've got some ideas of like family pulling together and pushing away. Yeah, you've got the equal and opposite thing, to be honest with you. But what I did notice is every time they're talking about family, they're all sitting down. So it's like when Drax is talking about his family, he's sitting down talking. Everyone's sitting down and talking about family. I'd have liked a bit more action to keep things rolling. It got broke. It kept stopping and starting and stopping and starting. That if I had to make a criticism of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
They did.
Sorry, man.
Oh, I just was going to agree. Yeah, they did stop in a couple places, and the action takes a bit of a lull here and there. But I still enjoyed the movie, though. I can't complain.
Yeah,
I gotta complain. Considering all the movies that came out so far this summer, that's one of the top. To me, the top 3 of this summer. I mean, like, there ain't that many that stands out. So you got to give it, and it really made his money back and then some. So, nobody got worried about that. So that's a good thing.
You're essentially you're part 2 into a trilogy. So
it's a difficult second movie, and they've got through it, and everyone enjoyed it. And that's it. It's an enjoyable movie. And there's no getting away from that because you like these people. They're the ones you want to hang out with, have fun with, and everything like that. And that's the difference I think that you have between this franchise. I think within the Marvel universe and some of the other ones, it's a case of it's fun, it's outer space, so they can do pretty much anything with it, and you can have fun with it. So yeah, that's good, and that's the one thing you do take away with it. You've enjoyed it. You do come away and you have enjoyed what you've seen, and if there are gripes with it, there are only small things, and like we've said, it's only part 2 of a 3-part. So the third part is usually something else. The second one is always the dark one of the 3.
Okay, anything else?
When he was fighting his dad, Peter Quill, he made a giant Pac-Man. I thought that was pretty freaking cool.
Well spotted, yeah.
Well, I think was it when he said, you'll have God power. Well, there'll be a giant statue of Pac-Man and Heather Locklear.
There you go, yeah.
It's some pretty messed up stuff.
The 80s references were insane, but they were enjoyable. Even Cheers got mentioned, so.
Yep. Skeletor.
Yeah, there you go, yeah.
That's it. Well, that's it, because that's what I was trying to work out, because it was sort of like the first thing you see is 1980, and then it jumps to 34 years later. So that means this movie, in theory, takes place in 2014, I would presume. And if you put 9 months in for pregnancy and everything like that, that puts Peter Quill's age at, I don't know, I would guess about 32, 33. So
yeah.
There you go.
Quickly before Chris Pratt starts looking old, make more movies. Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, he's got to do that Jurassic World shit as well. So
yeah, we're getting more of that. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and rate this sucker and put it to bed. All right. Let's start with Beefhead. How do you rate this one out of 10?
I'm gonna get. I'll play it safe on this one. It was a 7.5. It's a good movie. It's enjoyable, but what it lacks is that thing to keep the train rolling, which is what you had with the first one with the Infinity Gem. Yeah. The standout thing about this really is Yondu and Drax. Drax for the humor and the whole journey that you get with Yondu. You don't actually know that he's actually died by the end of it, but when you start seeing the little troll, the little glass frog put out, then you sort of like choke up and go, oh no, I'm going to miss him, because he was a very fun character. He was the baddie you love to hate. He was bad, but he wasn't really that bad. It's a shame, and I hope that if they do bring him back, I'll be happy, but they don't do it in a crappy way. It's a solid, fun movie that's good. Yeah. You can't help but sort of be uplifted by the end of it. Yeah, it's good. Does what it says on the tin. The difficult second movie. Yeah, they've passed. I'm pleased with it. The first one's better, but this was good nonetheless.
Okay, I almost forgot to mention. I love the scene where Rocket's beating the crap out of all them Ravagers on that planet. But okay, just all right. Graham, how do you rate this 1 out of 10?
Well, I enjoyed this just a tad more than Beef. I'll agree with him. The first one is probably just a notch above this. Effects were great. The regulars were fantastic. So in places, but it done what it had to do to move the story along for this group of people. So for me, it's the Dave Bautista and the Michael Rooker show. Great stuff by Kirk Russell to boot. I'll give this an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, AJ.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. It was fun. It was, for me at least, better than the first one. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10, especially that scene at the end where Yondu's second in charge is trying to use the fin, and he stabs Drax with the flying needle, and Drax is just screaming out in pain. That was hilarious.
And William.
I'm going to give those a 9 out of 10. I look forward to them in the Avengers Infinity War and their third movie when they face Adam Warlock. I can't wait to see that. I want to know if Adam Warlock ends up with the Soul Gem. That's what I want to see.
I thought you were going to say Adam West there.
Warlock.
Yeah, I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10 too. Yeah, it had a good story, had a lot of great character development. But like I said, there were just a couple places there where it kind of like lulled off, and you started to lose the pace. So, but like I said, a really, really good movie. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing them all in Infinity War. If I remember, I think it was Scarlett Johansson let out that there's one scene in Infinity War where she's on screen with like 32 other Marvel characters. So it's going to be a big-ass bonanza. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Well, folks, until next time, take care. Keep clean underwear nearby because you never know. So have a good one. See ya. Good night.
Good seeing you.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.